Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It's great to be with you on Inspirations for Your Life. In case you're wondering, yes, I'm traveling, and it is, the night of a brand new master topic. That is Saturday, July 5th, 2025. Welcome, everyone. The new master topic for this entire week, Saturday through Friday, is trust the process and ditch the force. And it is Series 4, Show 28. And by the way, we're on episode number 1. If this is your first time visiting Inspirations for Your Life, I want to take this opportunity to wish you a very warm welcome here on the show. If you're coming back, well, of course, welcome back. I always love to have people that have enjoyed the content. So definitely share this out with your friends, colleagues, and associates. And do check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, of course, inspiring creations. There's so many great things out there, and I love sharing this knowledge with all of you. I think there's so much that we can do when we get present, when we start to learn from others. So it is great to have everyone here. By the way, if you're thirsty, I don't want you to be famished or parched while you're watching the show. So feel free to go get yourself something to, let's say, satisfy that craving for your food, or to, let's say, wet the palate so that you're not dry. All right. And hurry on back. So, welcome everyone to another inspiring, amazing episode of, yes, the ever popular Inspirations for Your Life podcast. I am your host. I am also a podcast coach, serial entrepreneur, video producer, engineer, and a lot more. I'm John C. Morley, and I am thrilled and very grateful to be with you here this evening. So, tonight, I'm diving into a truth that so many of us struggle with in our fast paced world. Growth takes time. Yes, guys, it takes time. In an era where we expect instant results and overnight success, it's easy, guys, to, well, I should say it's easy to forget that the most meaningful progress is slow, steady, intentional. Together, we're going to explore how patience, persistence, and small steps lead to big breakthroughs. So get ready, everyone, to shift your mindset and embrace the power of gradual, authentic growth. Let's go, everyone. Number 1, growth is slow. I'm sorry, but it's slow. Growth isn't meant to be a sprint like a tree that takes years to reach its full height. True development, whether personal, professional, or spiritual, happens, well, bit by bit. The beauty of slow growth is that it allows you to build strong roots, creating a foundation that can withstand storms. And every day brings small changes that over time add up to something remarkable. When you accept that growth in your life is slow, you stop comparing your timeline to others and start appreciating your unique journey that you are on. Number 2, guys, quick fixes fail. And I don't say that to discourage you, but I say that so that you have some understanding of what to expect. We live in a world of hacks, shortcuts, and instant solutions. But when it comes to growth, there's no substitute for doing the work. Quick fixes might feel satisfying in the moment, but they rarely lead to lasting results. Think of it like trying to patch a leak with tape. It might hold for a little while, but eventually the water breaks through. Sustainable growth requires depth, reflection, and of course, consistency. When you stop chasing quick fixes, you give yourself permission to build something, well, more real. Number 3, guys, every step counts. It's easy to underestimate the small actions we take each day. But those tiny steps are what create big change over time and make an evolution. Whether it's reading a page, practicing a skill, or simply showing up, every effort compounds. Think of it like filling a jar with drops of water. Each drop matters. When you recognize the value of every step, you stay motivated, even when progress feels, well, somewhat invisible. Remember, big achievements are just the sum of small, consistent efforts. And I think that's hard for a lot of people to realize that small, consistent actions really do amount to success. Number four, guys, patience wins. I know a lot of you want to jump ahead, but patience really does win. Patience isn't passive, it's powerful. It's the ability to keep going, to trust the process, even when the results aren't, well, visible yet. The most resilient people are those who understand that success takes time and they stay focused on the journey rather than obsessing over the finish line. Patience allows you to enjoy the learning, the challenges, and the unexpected twists along the way. In the end, it's patience that turns potential into reality. I think that's important for everyone listening tonight, or listening later on, or watching the show to understand. Number five, rushing backfires. Yes, it does. When we rush, we often make mistakes, overlook details, or burn ourselves out. In our eagerness to arrive, we actually set ourselves back. Rushing might get you somewhere faster, like it seems, but it really gets you where you want to be. Slowing down lets you think clearly, make better decisions, and create work that you're actually proud of. The next time you feel the urge to push hard, take a breath and remember what's meant for you will come in time. Number six, small wins will build big. Celebrating small wins is one of the most powerful ways to fuel growth. Each little victory reinforces your confidence and keeps you moving forward. When you focus on small wins, you shift your attention from what's left to do to what you've already accomplished, which can be incredibly motivating. Over time, these small wins stack up, creating momentum that propels you toward your bigger goals, those bigger aspirations. Number seven, guys, the time we have shapes our success. Time isn't the enemy of success, folks. It's the sculptor. It's what transforms raw effort into mastery. The hours, the days, the years you put in, well, into growing your craft, we might say, your mindset, or even your business are what shape the outcome that you and the world will see. When you honor time as part of the process, you stop fighting it and start working with it. And success that lasts is always shaped and refined over time. I know many people that just want to get to the finish line. They want to get somewhere. But you know the problem is they want to get somewhere, but that might not really be where they want to go. Like, have you ever gotten, let's say, a ticket to go on a subway or a bus, and you think you're going the right way? Maybe you took the bus the wrong direction. You're in a different town. I've done this before. It's like, oh, I think I wanted to go downtown, not uptown. And I didn't quite realize that until I got on the train or the bus, right? Mostly happens with the subway. So I think those are important things. Now, here's the part of the show, guys, that I really enjoy. Well, I enjoy the whole show, but this is a part that I really enjoy. I'm going to give you basically a personal lesson or story, one for each point, okay? And it's my hope that this is going to fuel you. It's going to empower you. It's going to take you to a new level of life. It's going to let you see that, you know what you've been missing all this time is actually the fact that you've missed the direction. You think you're going north, but really you're supposed to be going south or east or west, right? And I know that sounds crazy, but I want to tell you that you have to embrace this. See, when you start to embrace this and the universe sees you embrace it, it's like, well, magic starts to unfold. Growth is slow. I know you don't like me saying that, but that is the truth, guys. Growth is slow. I remember when I started my first company, I thought success would just come like the next day. I was fueled by passion, but soon realized that building something meaningful takes time. Each client, each product, each mistake helped me learn and grow, but none of it happened overnight, unfortunately. Looking back, It was the slow and I'm going to say the steady progress that allowed me to create something, well, lasting. Like tending a garden, I need to plant seeds and nurture them and wait for them to grow. There were seasons of drought, times when I wondered if anything would even bloom. But because I didn't give up and let time do its work, I saw results beyond what I ever had imagined. Number two, quick fixes fail. Once I tried flashy marketing schemes that promised instant results. I invested time and some money, excited by the hype, but within weeks, they flopped. The quick fix not only didn't deliver, but it set me back. It taught me that the shortcuts often cut you, well, let's say, short. After that, I focused on long term strategies, building relationships, delivering value, and refining our offerings. It took more effort, but those efforts paid off in customer loyalty and sustainable growth. The lesson: don't trade substance for speed. And I know that sounds crazy because people like speed. They think that if you get somewhere fast, you're at the right spot. But the truth of the matter is, you might not be anywhere even close to where you're supposed to be. Number three, every step counts. I used to underestimate small tasks, that one phone call, that 5 minute brainstorm, that daily habit. But over the years, I've seen how these little things compound. When I wrote just a few pages a day, it became a book. When I connected with one person at a time, it became a network. Every step, no matter how small, builds toward your goal. It might not feel like progress in the moment, but when you look back, you'll see how far these steps carried you. Small actions, guys, make big dreams. And I know that sounds like something that is cliche, but you know what? It is really the truth. You see, when we take small steps, it's like we're able to not only appreciate the journey, but if we have to, let's say, change the direction of the wheel, right? We can without it costing us a lot or without having a major impact on our cargo or even the trajectory of where we're going. Number four, patience wins, guys. Yes, it does. I know that's not what you want to hear, but patience does win. There was a time I was frustrated that my projects weren't scaling fast enough. I was tempted to pivot constantly, chasing the next big thing. But when I paused and let my ideas mature, things started to click. It was patience that gave me clarity, and clarity that led to success. I learned that patience doesn't mean standing still, it means staying steady. It means trusting that effort plus time equals results. Let me say that again: trusting the effort plus time equals those results. So trust the effort plus time equals results. Even if you can't see them yet, they might appear invisible. The most rewarding milestones have come for me after I stopped rushing and started trusting. And that's what this whole week is about: trusting the process and ditching, well, something that a lot of people do, which is force. So I'm hoping that this will really ring some bells for a lot of people. Number five, rushing backfires. You might say to me, John, well, if I rush, then I'll get it done. Yes, but we've all heard the famous slogan or message that, uh, haste makes waste, right? And I think if we can understand that, the concept of rushing backfires will make a lot of sense for you. Early in my career, I rushed to launch a product because I wanted to beat the competition. We skipped key tests, ignored feedback, and pushed it out. The result, well, not really bugs, but we had an unhappy launch because we didn't realize that one of our competitors was actually trying to do the same thing, and they didn't have the idea. But when our product wasn't, let's say, trademarked, they were able to see what we were doing, revamp their idea, and then because they had the budget and they had the right plans, they made the tweaks, and they unfortunately left us in the dust. So we learned hard from that experience, a really hard lesson. That experience taught me that speed without care costs more in the end. Now I focus on doing things right, not just fast. When you slow down, you catch what matters. And that's what leads to pride in your work and, of course, a lasting success. When I ask people about pride in their work, they often say to me, John, pride for me means that I'm getting a paycheck at the end of the week. And I'm like, but that's not what pride in your work means. Pride in your work is that you value what you put out, not just because of the company, not just because you're getting a paycheck, but because it connects with you. And because you have that quality, you don't want any mistakes. You want to make sure it's perfect. And so you put it out and you're proud of it. Number 6, small wins build big. When I was training for my first run that I did, it's a small run, but I still had to train for it. I celebrated every extra mile I ran. Those small wins kept me motivated and reminded me how far I'd come. The finish line didn't feel impossible because I'd honored each step along the way. In business, too, I make it a point to celebrate small victories. A client's thank you, a process improvement, a creative idea that actually works. These wins build confidence, energy, and momentum, fueling the bigger success ahead. I think too many small and large companies, they're looking for something big to celebrate, but they forget that the small things matter. Those small things actually can be, well, the difference of a success or a failure because we've actually noticed what's going on. And maybe people don't take time to look at their own timeline as well as others. Number 7, time shapes success. Success, guys, isn't something you achieve in one big leap. Nope. It's the result of time shaping your effort, your skills, your vision. When I think of my biggest achievements, they've always been tied to long stretches of learning, trying, and adjusting. And remember, I said, guys, you have to practice getting comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to practice getting comfortable being uncomfortable. You have to practice getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Because, see, the growth doesn't happen where we're comfortable. We have to always push ourselves a little bit more. The hours I spent honing my craft, the years I invested in relationships, the time I took to understand my purpose, those things shaped the outcomes I am most proud of today. Success isn't what you do, guys. It's how time transforms what you do into something great. Now, you might be watching or listening here and saying, John, what does it mean to be great? Well, great doesn't mean that you're perfect. Great means that you've taken the skills and the gifts you've been given and you've honed them and you've sharpened them and you've been able to make them into something, well, very, very, very special. Something that I feel will empower you to another level. Something that you can celebrate not only with yourself, but with other people. So I know a lot of people out there that say, John, I don't have time to trust the process. Well, if you don't have time to trust the process, then maybe the issue is with trusting yourself. Because you can't trust the process till you trust yourself. And there are lots of manipulating factors we'll talk about later in the week that are going to prevent you from achieving that major success milestone, the one that you've been hoping for your entire life. Why? Because you're going to act impulsively. Not because you necessarily want to, but because you feel like you have to. as you might feel behind the eight ball. You might feel like you're pedaling, but you're going nowhere, right? Or you're working at something day and night, but no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to catch up. You just keep barely staying ahead or falling behind more and more each week. And I think when we take on a journey in life, we don't always know if that journey is going to be easy or it's going to be hard. But I think what we need to do is embrace the fact that that journey is meant for us. That journey is there to teach us things that maybe we didn't think we're ready to learn. But that's the beauty of the journey. The journey teaches us things that we do need to learn. The universe shows us things over and over again for lessons that we keep not learning. If we don't learn something, do you know what happens? The universe says, oh, hey, you didn't learn that. I'm going to present it to you again. And sometimes it's not just presenting it to you again. Sometimes it presents it to you even harder. And eventually it presents in a way that, well, is not the way you'd want to receive it. So I think we've got to be aware of ourselves. We got to be aware of our situations. We got to be aware of our world. We got to be aware of the people in it. We got to be aware of who we are, how we feel. And trusting the process is not easy. Trusting the process means that you can let go enough once you started to do your work. You don't stop doing your work, but you believe, hey, believemeachieve.com, right? You believe enough in yourself and in the process that you know it will yield what you want. Like if you've never made a chocolate cake before and you know this works to make a chocolate cake, you firmly believe with every bone, muscle, ligament, and tendon in your body that this will produce a delicious chocolate cake. And the belief and the assumption of it will create that amazing chocolate cake if you follow the recipe. But I think so many times people want to skip to the end of the book. We've all had those books, where you start on page, let's say 1, and it says, if you believe this, go to page 30. But then it also tells you, don't ever read this book all the way through. And then if you believe that the person made the right choice, go to chapter 200. You believe they didn't, go to chapter 300 or whatever, or page 300, whatever it is. And I think when we don't have enough data to validate it, trust can become hard. So trust works by a belief and by a gut feeling that each of us get. Sometimes we don't know if we should trust that gut feeling. And when we first start out, it's like, that gut feeling's there, but I haven't really used it before. So have I polished it enough? Does it work enough? Sometimes you have to hone in that skill. Sometimes you have to know how you feel in a certain situation. And those feelings should either push you closer to doing something or pull you away from it. And this is not the same of saying to use a feeling to make a decision. It's an instinct of whether you should move forward. I always say you shouldn't use your emotions to make like a business decision. But a gut is different than emotion. A gut is different than emotion. And if we can learn that our gut can transform us, okay? Some people go their entire lives and they don't even use their gut. They have no idea what it is. They don't even know when I say this doesn't feel right. They don't know what I'm talking about. They think I'm in some space odyssey. Developing your own intuition is not something you're going to do overnight, and something that it's going to be a slow process. I'm going to let you know that right now. We talked about the garden before. Do you plant seeds, and then if they don't sprout in a week or two, do you go dig them up? No. You make sure you've cultivated with enough fertilizer. It could be Miracle Grow or whatever it is. Make sure they have enough water, enough sunlight. But you trust that they will grow. You believe that they will grow. Just like the seeds that you plant for your new clients, for new things you want to learn, those seeds will get you to learn it. But the thing is, they may not sprout when you're ready for it. And I think that's a frustration for a lot of people. They think that, well, it didn't sprout today, so it's never going to sprout. No, it just might not be the right time. When you realize that the world changes around us and it's very subtle, these subtle differences that we see every day or that we feel can either direct us towards something or away from it. I know so many people that want to do a quick fix. We call them the band-aid fix, right? You might have remembered something from a commercial where they say, we don't cut corners. I think it was actually, I think it was Wendy's, right? They said we don't cut corners. We don't cut the corners. So their burgers are square. And that became their whole marketing playbook. We don't cut the corners. But does that mean having something round is cutting the corners? Well, not really. Cutting the corners is a proverbial phrase in this case with the hamburger, but cutting corners just means rushing to the end, right? Like maybe you're doing an estimate for a client and you didn't do, well, your due diligence and the research necessary. And because of that, you know what happened? Maybe you quoted the wrong price. Maybe you quoted too high. Maybe you left too much money on the table, right? I think this is what it means. The quick fix doesn't deliver. It seems like it does, but it will eventually backfire. And maybe you're going to keep doing quick fixes because it works for you now. Maybe you're not having any problems, but eventually the quick fix is going to fail you. And you're like, oh my gosh. And when it fails, it's probably going to fail big time. Could lose lots of resources, money, maybe a reputation. So don't do that. Quick fixes, they fail. Even if they don't fail today, they will fail. And you're going to be sorry that you went that way. Every step counts and patience wins. The last thing I want to talk about tonight is, again, patience. We talked about it, but I think it's very important to understand that patience is what wins. Patience allows us to connect and be a better version of ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Do check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations, and we'll continue this master topic tomorrow. Be well, everyone.